Hey everyone, how's it going? Cloud here, and welcome to my guide on the Temple at Senntisten quest. Now, for this quest you need the following requirements. You need to have completed the Desert Treasure quest, the Devious Mines quest, the Curse of Arav quest, and you'll need to have fully restored the Temple of, or the Pyramid I should say, of Senntisten, which is where you access during the Missing My Mummy quest. You need to have completed that quest to 100%. If you're not too sure on that, if you refer to the link in the video description below and listen to my guide on that, I'll talk through how you achieve 100%. You will also need level 50 prayer and 125 kudos from the Varrock Museum. Now, if you don't have 125 kudos or you're not too sure on how to obtain it, this is basically some of the main things you can do to get to that. So you can access the area behind the roped off section, which is to enable you to do cleaning of different artifacts, and by doing that to the very maximum you can get 50 kudos from that. You can answer quizzes about the museum exhibits, which is on the sort of basement of the Varrock Museum, and go around and basically ask all the questions and answer them correctly to receive a total of 28 kudos. You can give details of your completed quests to Historian Minas, who can be found on the first floor, and that is currently 95 kudos in total, but that's if you've completed all the quests, so it's not really going to be relevant here, but you should still get a few. And also by completing the Varrock statue for the first time will give you 10 kudos as well. So if you mostly focus on those four, you should eventually have 125 kudos. You're also going to need to be able to defeat 3 of the 6 Barrows brothers, and the reason you won't have to kill all 6 I'll explain a bit further on. And you'll also need to kill a level 98 Ice Demon. Now, with the Ice Demon, it has no particular weakness apart from the fact it is a demon, so weapons like Silverlight and Darklight will be effective on it, but it's up to you if you want to bring those. That's it for the requirements. Now onto the items. So you'll need enough runes to be able to cast Telekinetic Grab, and you must obviously be on the standard spellbook for that. For each Telekinetic Grab it costs 1 air and 1 lore rune, so bring some of those with you even though you can find some during the quest. Obviously you'll need food and combat equipment for the monsters that I mentioned a moment ago. And the thing that I recommend are methods to teleport to Nardah, which you got the following. So you got the Desert Amulet 2, which can be unlocked through the achievement guides, or Polnaviak teleport scrolls, or you've got the Bandit Camp Lodestone. Also, if you have Drakan's medallion, that can come in handy to get to the Barrows brothers quicker, but it's not sort of a necessity. And the only thing that I would strongly recommend you get is some Barrows amulets. So these can be bought from the Grand Exchange, and basically they'll enable you to skip a Barrows brother. So by using the amulet on their coffin, it will kill the brother straight away, and then thus you'll have to kill less of them. So, and you can prioritize the amulets on the more stronger brothers to make it easier for you. Other than that, that's all the items you're going to need. So that's it for the requirements and items. Now onto the quest starting point. So we are currently in Nardah, and I have accessed this area by using the Desert Amulet 2 that I mentioned at the beginning part of the quest. Alternatively, you can use the Polnaviak teleport scroll or Bandit Camp Lodestone and then head to Nardah from there. But to start the quest we need to speak to Ali the Wise, who can be found in the small northwestern house in Nardah. So when you speak to Ali, he'll start conversing about Zaros and his conquest over the world, and with the help of the Mahjarrat. He remembers talking to one of his colleagues on the matter, Dr. Nanabik, who, acquainted to you as well, has asked for your help. So he'll inform you that Nanabik can be found in the courtyard of the exam centre near the dig site. If you ask for help to get to Nanabik, he will give you a dig site pendant in order to conveniently reach the dig site. So once you have that pendant, rub it and you'll appear in the dig site, and then you want to keep heading south until you reach near where the exam centre is, and I'll speak to you in a moment. So, outside the exam centre, Dr. Nanabik will reveal that he is in fact a Zondra, the Sorosian Mahjarrat, who was freed during the events of Desert Treasure, and he will tell you that he needs consent and authorisation from the lead archaeologist to start reconstructing the altar beneath the dig site. So you want to talk to the archaeological expert inside the exam centre. As a reference for Dr. Nanabik, you'll be now quizzed on his credentials. Any answers will do, so you don't have to worry about picking the wrong ones. After convincing him, he'll give you a restoration certificate. Head back to Zondra with the certificate and tells you to meet him at the altar, and to access the site he'll provide you with a rope. So you can now use another charge on your pendant for speedy travel or head back up, but what you want to do in the dig site area, use your rope on the westernmost winch and then operator to enter the dig site dungeon, and you want to walk to the ruined altar in the southern part of the dungeon. So to rebuild the altar, Zondra requests you to get 2 rare items: the Barrows Icon, which can be obtained by looting the chest after killing all 6 Barrows brothers, and the Frosten Horn, which is from a cold fortress in the wilderness. He'll hand you a ruined backpack containing a battered letter and a heat globe, and a letter advises you to bring runes to draw them to me just a short distance, speaking of more heat globes in the fortress. Now, it's very important that you go through every single possible dialogue option with Zondra to be able to get information of each mission, otherwise you may not be able to complete some of them, especially if you don't talk about the Barrows stuff, as you could go and kill the Barrows brothers and then not get the icon from the chest because you haven't gone through all the dialogue. So I literally would go through every single thing, and you don't necessarily have to read it, just spam click through it until you're sure you've got everything. And you can always check your quest journal as well, just to see that it's saying about obtaining the Barrows Icon and the Frosten Horn. So the first item we're going to obtain is the Barrows Icon. So Barrows is an area located in Mauritania, east of the town of Morton. Now some of you probably have done Barrows before, some of you haven't. Don't worry, it's quite easy to do, and I'll talk you through it. So first we want to head to where the Barrows is. Now as I said at the beginning of the quest, if you have completed the branches of Darkmare, you can use Drakan's medallion to teleport straight there. If not, you're going to have to teleport to the Canifis Lodestone and head through the Mortmire swamp until you get into that sort of area. You'll head to Morton and then you'll sort of go off at a tangent to reach the Barrows area. And as I said at the beginning part of the quest, I strongly recommend that you bring 3 Barrows amulets with you as well. So first thing we need to do is kill the 5 Barrows brothers found in their tombs below the ground. So what you need to do, you've got each of the Barrows brothers in a separate crypt, and what you're meant to do is inspect each of the tombs until you find a tunnel. Now with the Barrows amulets, if you use it on a tomb which contains one of the Barrows brothers, it will instantly kill them and you won't have to fight them. So I recommend using it on the more dangerous brothers, which are Gorak, Fortress, and either Varrock or Guffin, depending on your sort of gear you've brought with you. You can tell from the coffins which each of the Barrows brothers are, and I think if you right click and examine it will tell you as well. Now if you go to use the Barrows amulet on a tomb and it doesn't do anything, that will be the tomb that will lead you into the lower part, but what you want to do is make sure you've killed all 5 possible brothers from the upper level before you actually head down into the tomb, otherwise you have to fight them down there. So once you've killed the first 5 Barrows brothers found in their tombs, you then want to enter the underground crypt via the tomb of the missing brother, and now you need to head to the centre of the dungeon. So the final brother will randomly spawn while you start navigating through the dungeon, and you must make sure you've killed all 6 Barrows brothers, otherwise you won't get the Barrows icon. To get through certain doors there will be puzzles, and they'll basically be like solution puzzles, so it will tell you to choose the next one in the pattern. They're quite easy to do, and you should be able to tell by the way the doors are laid out where the centre of the room is. So once you've killed the 6th Barrows brother and you've reached the centre, you then want to search the chest, and you should, as long as you've killed all the Barrows brothers and gone through all the dialogue with Zondra, receive the Barrows Icon and some rewards from the actual Barrows minigame as well. And once you've got that, you just want to teleport out of there, and then we'll talk about how to obtain the Frostenhorn. So to get the Frostenhorn, we'll be heading to the Gorak Fortress, which is near the wilderness, and it's in a very sort of snowy area, and you will encounter some aggressive high level ice fiends and water fiends, therefore food and armour will be recommended. Now, as I mentioned, it is near the wilderness, this frozen waste plateau, but once you're actually inside the Gorak Fortress, you won't be able to be PK'd, so you haven't got to worry about going through the wilderness, and there's a safe way to get there as well. So the suggested route to reach the Gorak Fortress is to use the canoe near Urjolf, who is the Fremennik child you met during the Tale of the Moosepar quest. So to reach there, you want to go to the Fremennik province Lodestone via the Lodestone network, and then keep heading north until you get to the Snowy Hunter area, and if you look to the west you should see the young Fremennik with his canoe. You then want to use the canoe to go to the Mahjarrat ritual site cavern, which is marked on the minimap as a dungeon icon, and from there head east and you'll see the fortress. So the entrance to the fortress is blocked by a large block of ice and snow. You want to place the heat globe you obtained on the pedestal just on the north side of the entrance. This will now melt the ice slightly and you can then squeeze past. Now you'll notice steel dragons walking around. They aren't aggressive, so as long as you don't try and attack them you'll be fine. So what you want to do is run through the arched entrance at the south end of the fortress and then climb up the stairs to the west. Run to the southeast corner of the castle, then climb down the nearby stairs back into the courtyard. Next to the door, a few squares to the north, is a damaged wall which you need to scale up. Continue to the northwest corner of the floor and past the broken pedestal, and then you want to climb down on the smashed wall. Then enter the trapdoor in front of you to delve into the first level of the dungeon. Now it is recommended to have auto retaliate off, as there's quite a few water fiends and ice fiends that will try and attack you, and it will keep making your character run back. And also if you've got protect from magic, that will help reduce damage from the fiends as well. So you want to go into the eastern room and pick up the heat globe. Return to the entrance room and then place the heat globe on the pedestal on the west side. This will melt an ice block, releasing a water fiend. You want to pass through the gap where the ice was in the western room, ignoring the water fiend, and you now need to telegrab the heat orb you place, so you've got it back in your inventory, but make sure you do it on the side where it's just melted. You then want to use the globe on the pedestal in this room to melt the ice to the trapdoor and then go down there. You then want to pick up the heat globe from the floor of the southern room, use the heat globe on the pedestal back in the north room, melting various ice deposits and spawning 2 water fiends. The crates in the south room may now be looted for 40 lore runes, 300 air runes and a hammer. Travel east until you find another pedestal, which is a radiant pedestal, and remove the imperfect heat orb from it. You then want to exit the dungeon the way you entered, returning to the surface castle courtyard. You may have to remove and replace the globe in the upper room to get back out there. So you want to scale the damaged wall to the west and then head to the northeast corner where the destroyed pedestal is. Use the imperfect heat orb on the pedestal, and then you want to click the push option, and a cutscene will play where you'll push the orb down the snowdrift into the hull of the courtyard. And then you want to return to the lower level of the dungeon and re-entering the trapdoor, choose the option carry on where I was. So when you make it back to the lower dungeon, head east back to the area where the imperfect heat globe was acquired. Go south, then west to find and pick up another heat globe. You then want to head back east to the point where the path turns north, and you'll see a pipe in an alcove on the south wall. The pipe appears as a small tunnel on the minimap. So use the globe on it and it will get stuck in the mouth of the pipe. You then want to use your hammer on the globe or simply click the whack pipe option, and the globe will be expelled from one end to the other and land on the pedestal. This will then melt another ice block and spawn another water fiend, allowing you to pass through the passage. Run west along the path until you reach the southeastern room, and then when you climb up the ladder you want to be prepared to fight the Ice Demon. So after climbing the ladder, run west a few rooms to engage with the level 98 Ice Demon. It attacks both range and magic, but as magic attacks are harder, protect from magic is recommended if you feel the need to. Now, the demon's not overly strong, and as I mentioned at the beginning part of the quest, he is a demon, so any weapons that hurt demons such as Silverlight or Darklight will be effective against it. Once you have killed the Ice Demon, you'll then receive the Frosten Horn as a drop. Now if you happen to die or teleport away after killing the Ice Demon and you forget the Frosten Horn, it will appear outside the trapdoor leading underground. So now you have both the Barrows Icon and the Frosten Horn, you want to return to Zondra, who will be found back where the altar was. So you can teleport to him via the Dig Site Pendant if you still got it, or just head there from Varrock. Either way, speak to you in a moment. So Zondra will be found in the dungeon where you left him, but he will have finished restoring the altar. He will tell you that you need to retrieve a last item from someone just outside. So go up the winch and you'll find the assassin who tricked you during the Devious Minds quest. Talk to him and he'll give you the item that Zondra wants, which is the relic that you helped him steal from Intrana. You then want to pass the relic to Zondra with the other two items, and a cutscene will take place of Zondra making communication with Zaros himself. After the cutscene has ended, you then want to talk to Zondra again, and he will greatly thank you for his help, and it will come up, congratulations, you've completed the Temple at Senntisten quest. You're rewarded 2 quest points, 10,000 prayer experience, 23,000 experience lamp for any chosen skill level 50 plus, 20,000 experience lamps for any chosen combat skill level 50 plus. You'll be given a new set of prayers known as the Ancient Curses, and you must read the ancient hymnal given to you in order to activate them. Access to the altar of Zaros in the Senntisten Temple, which is where we are now. Praying at this altar will boost your prayer points to 15% higher than its maximum. Access to Gorak, which was the fortress we were in. Items obviously obtained from the Barrows chest, 2 treasure hunter keys and 2 hearts of ice. So there we go, quest complete. So overall, not a really lengthy quest. It's not that sort of time consuming, even though there's a little bit of travelling around, and it's not overly difficult. The Barrows Brothers bit's quite easy with those Barrows amulets now. That just sort of saves you having to kill them, and the bit in Gorak is quite easy as well. Now, the main reason the majority of you will be completing this quest is to access the Ancient Curses, which you'll now be able to use as long as you have the relevant prayer level for each of the curses, so they go all the way up to level 95 I believe, and the rest of you will probably be completing this in order to do the Ritual of the Mahjarrat quest and the Light Within quest, which are the sort of sequels to this one. Also, the overall experience rewards are quite handy from this quest as well, and will bump you up a few levels. But yeah, other than that, I don't think you'll run into any problems following my guide. However, if you do get stuck at all, leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll help you out as best I can. If not, thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, favourite, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share with your friends. Cheers everyone, bye bye.